Now on Coast TV News.
Tunnel Bridge tragedy update. What the investigation has revealed so far after a tractor-trailer crashed into the Chesapeake Bay.
Plus, county contract controversy. The action Maryland's governor is expected to make today on immigration enforcement that is at odds with local agencies.
Watch for some areas of fog to start our Tuesday, but a pleasant day awaits. We're going to see sunshine this afternoon, turning milder. We get it back into the 50s, and we're going to trend even milder in the days ahead, plus turning a little active as well.
Strategic Summit in Lewes. Why leaders from several organizations are making themselves available to the public tonight.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And we are in our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
And I'm Grace Eckerly. Today is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026.
Warming up today, Grace. We're getting closer to spring-like conditions.
I know you're getting excited about that. Not spring, but grilling season.
Grilling season. Yeah, we're about a month and a half from my official start of grill. There are people that grill all year round. So when I say grilling season, it's my grilling season.
It's on your personal calendar. Well,
right.
Chris did say that we are going to have some warmer temperatures today, or for the rest of the week almost, except today we woke up and it was cold.
It was cold, yeah. You had frost on your windshield.
I had frost. We all talked last hour. This was my ice scraper this morning, a used Starbucks gift card.
I know what I'm buying you for your birthday.
I don't want an ice scraper.
Oh,
Come on, this is so much better. It has cash, and when you wake up this early, you need a little caffeine. I think I found a new way.
Coffee and scraping. All right, well, let's get the first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono, in the Weather Center. You might have frost on your windshield now. Don't think that's going to be the case as our morning moves on, Chris.
Good morning, Matt. Grace, you have any money left on that gift card, Grace? I need a little espresso here this morning as we take a live look into Dover. Temperatures there are in the mid-30s, 35 degrees, but we have been dealing with fog throughout the morning. You can see visibility is now down to 1.25 miles for most of the southern portion of the mid-shore, as well as through Sussex County, and down to 1.25 miles there in Wallops Island. Temperatures hovering just right around that freezing mark in some locations. So yes, you're going to need a little extra time for that car to warm up this morning, but you can see the southwest flow. Winds are relatively calm, but that's the warmer air evecting into the area. That's one of the reasons we have fog this morning with the colder ground. Now, we are going to see high pressure control our weather here for the day today. That's going to slide off to our southeast, and that's going to introduce that southwest wind flow. So a cloudy, foggy start to the day, but we rebound pretty nicely this afternoon as we get those temperatures back into the lower 50s throughout the area. So temperatures rising into the 40s through the latter part of the morning, and then lower 50s by the afternoon. Again, watch for that patchy fog and frost this morning, so give yourself a little extra time on your way to your destination. We'll talk about some active weather by the end of the week. I'll break that down in my full 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
We have some breaking news to tell you about this morning. NBC News is confirming that civil rights leader Jesse Jackson has died at age 84. Jackson was born in Greenville, South Carolina, and rose to leadership during the civil rights era. His career includes 2 presidential candidacies, one in 1984. There was another one in 1988. Jackson revealed a Parkinson's diagnosis in 2017 and was recently admitted to the hospital. That was in November. And again, our breaking news this hour is that civil rights icon Jesse Jackson dies at the age of 84. And for more information on his life and career, you can head to the article on CoastTV.com. Turning now to the city of Lewes, it's hosting its first ever State of the Community Forum, and that is happening tonight.
Coast TV News reporter Elise Weber is live in Lewes. Elisa, the meeting is in partnership with leaders from the University of Delaware, Beebe Healthcare, and the Cape Henlopen School District.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. City leaders say the goal of tonight's meeting is to build a strong and healthy community. Stakeholders will present their 2026 priorities as well as joint strategic goals and discuss how and why collaboration is key. Speakers include Superintendent of the Cape Henlopen School District, Dr. Jenny Noman, President and CEO of Beebe Healthcare, Dr. David Tam, and University of Delaware President Dr. Laura Carlson. The meeting will feature a 30 to 40-minute Q&A session. Attendees are encouraged to submit questions online before the meeting. And this evening's meeting will take place from 5 to 7 a.m. at Lewes Elementary School. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa. From Lewes to Ocean City, and happening today, a big update in the fight over short-term rentals. According to the agenda for today's Ocean City Council meeting, they are expected to present whether enough valid signatures were collected on a petition The petition is seeking a referendum on a recently adopted ordinance that's related to those short-term rentals, and according to Ocean City, at least 990 signatures must receive verification for the petition to move forward to a referendum.
The Ocean City Council is also looking at changing the hours that bicycles are allowed on the boardwalk. Currently, noon is when bicyclists must exit the boardwalk, and the Ocean City Police Commission notes that while congestion on the boardwalk increases later in the day, earlier afternoon hours are manageable. The commission is now recommending extending the hours to 2 p.m. And according to the commission, this applies from the time period between Memorial Day to Labor Day. Yeah,
there's also the second and final reading of an ordinance that would double parking violation fines during special events. That's also expected today from Ocean City Council. Officials say the fine would jump from $50 to $100. Now, this includes events such as Country Calling, Oceans Calling, 4th of July, and others throughout the year. We went to Ocean City to talk to people living there about how they feel about this, and here's what one man told us.
As long as signage is clear as to how much things cost and what you'll be fined if you don't pay it, then yeah, it's a good idea.
And the Ocean City Council meeting is again tonight at 6.
Ocean City Council has previously made other changes during special events in town. One change doubled the fine for illegally parking in front of a fire hydrant during a special event, increasing it from $100 to $200. And parking rates in general also increased during special events, costing drivers an additional $1.50 compared to its standard parking rates.
New this morning, Maryland Governor Wes Moore scheduled to sign 2 emergency bills involving immigration enforcement. Here's what we're talking about. There's Senate Bill 245. It prohibits state, local government, or a county sheriff from entering into an agreement with ICE and any existing agreements before July 1st. And there's House Bill 444. It essentially has the same requirements. If you recall, it was earlier this year that Wicomico County entered into an agreement to assist in executing immigration warrants inside county detention centers.
New this morning, a Salsbury home is in need of a major repair after an electrical fire. According to the Maryland State Fire Marshal, the fire began in the attic of a home on South Kaywood Drive around 2:15 Sunday afternoon. Officials say it took firefighters 45 minutes to put out the blaze, and structural damage is estimated to be at about $200,000.
Continuing our coverage on the tragedy on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, a Purdue truck driver is dead after his truck plummeted into the waters below. Truck has now been recovered, as well as the driver's body. Bay Bridge Tunnel police say the crash happened around 6:30 Sunday morning, and Purdue confirming the driver was 61-year-old Ronnie Andrews from North Carolina. Bay Bridge Tunnel police are saying the cause of this crash remains under investigation and that wind restrictions were not in effect at the time of the crash. Today, U.S. envoys engaging in double negotiations, both with far-reaching international implications. In Geneva, Switzerland, U.S. diplomats meeting with Iranian officials for a second round of nuclear negotiations.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us that at the same time, in a different section of Geneva, another team of U.S. negotiators will try and mediate a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine.
The Trump administration turning to foreign policy today with separate high-level negotiations in Geneva, Switzerland, on Iran's nuclear program and Russia's war on Ukraine. President Trump saying he'll be indirectly involved in the Iran talks.
I don't think they want the consequences of not making a deal. They want to make a deal.
The president sending a second U.S. aircraft carrier to the region ahead of the talks, ramping up the pressure on Iran to curb its nuclear program, as Iranian officials signal some flexibility in exchange for sanctions relief. The U.S. military buildup in the region follows Iran's violent crackdown last month on sweeping protests. President Trump asked Friday about regime change in Iran.
Seems like that would be the best thing that could happen.
He's also referenced last year's U.S.-Israeli bombing campaign that badly damaged Iran's nuclear infrastructure, suggesting further military action is on the table without a deal. In retaliation for any attack, Iran has threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, choking off a critical global oil pathway. All as top Trump envoys tackle a separate challenge today, mediating negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. Whether Ukraine will have to give up territory remains a central sticking point, closing in on the 4-year mark of Russia's full-scale invasion. Ukraine's president urging allies to help force Russia to peace, as President Trump called on Ukraine to come to the table fast. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Lunar New Year celebrations kicking off today as the Year of the Horse begins. It's widely considered the most important event of the year in China and Chinese communities around the world. Celebrations vary depending on the country or religion, but there are a few common traditions. Some of them include a big dinner with family and deep cleaning the home to get rid of any bad luck from the year past.
Starting Monday in Salsbury, Tidal Health Peninsula Regional will have temporary parking and traffic changes as it builds a new observation unit that's next to the Robert T. Atkins MD Emergency and Trauma Center. Part of West Vine Street gets limited to one lane, or it's closed at times through early fall 2026. The emergency department will remain open.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News today.
Coming up, Wicomico bird flu, how farmers are increasing safety protocols after a presumed positive case.
Also, tobacco tax changes, what Delaware Governor Matt Meyer is proposing in his fiscal year 2027 budget.
Still ahead, how one organization is empowering the blind and low vision individuals to live, learn, and work without limits. And first alert, meteorologist Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center. We got a bit of a warm-up over the next couple of days, and he's breaking down exactly when we can see those temperatures hit 50 and 60 degrees. We check in with Chris next.
It's a foggy, frosty start to our Tuesday here on the Delmarva Peninsula as we take a live look into Ocean City. 34, you can see the fog there. We're now down to 3/4 of a mile visibility in Georgetown, down to 3/4 of a mile there in Wallops, 1/4 and a mile and a quarter there in Cambridge. We're hovering generally in the lower to mid 30s. Some areas are just below the freezing mark, so some frost on the windshield this morning. We do have high pressure in full control of our weather here throughout much of the mid-Atlantic. As this high shifts offshore, that's going to bring in more of a southwest wind through the afternoon. So we're going to rebound pretty nicely after this foggy start this morning. 33 to start. By the afternoon, we're up into the lower 50s, and that's going to feel pretty good. We're going to make a run at 60 tomorrow with more clouds, and then we're going to talk about some rain to end the week. I'll break that down more further in the full 7-day forecast.
And we're now taking a live look at New Orleans. Mardi Gras celebrations continuing as today marks Fat Tuesday. Festivities which featured weeks of parades. It's part of the carnival season there, which actually began on January 12th.
Seems like a fun time there, Matt. This morning, the Delaware Grocery Initiative and First State Food System Program is reopening for 2026 with $700,000 in funding. Officials say the initiative stems from Senate Bill 254 and aims to eliminate food deserts by helping community groups open or expand their access to fresh and affordable food. Farmers, community markets, and food banks can begin to submit applications on February 20th, and the Division of Small Businesses will host a webinar on February 18th at 12:30 p.m.
Across Delmarva, Atlantic General Hospital celebrating 20 years of its auxiliary thrift shop. Organizers will recognize the milestone on February 20th with a special commemoration. Officials say the store opens at 10 a.m. and the anniversary event begins at 11 a.m.
Breaking boundaries and being blind. Hundreds of people came together in Ocean City to share personal stories and resources and connect, all with the goal of empowering those who are blind or have low vision. CoastTV reporter Kevin Zapay takes us there.
Blindness is not what holds you back.
That was the message in Ocean City as the National Federation of the Blind of Maryland hosted its event, bringing together guest speakers, vendors, and hundreds of attendees in support of people experiencing blindness and low vision. Ronza Othman, a volunteer with the Federation, says the nonprofit has helped her and many others gain independence.
I thought I was doing a great job and I was living in the world and living my best life until I met a whole bunch of blind and low vision people who had a lot more independent skills than I did.
Othman says the organization receives about $250,000 a year in donations. Money, she says, goes directly back into programs that that support the blind community.
We offer something called the NFB Bell Academy, Braille Enrichment and Literacy and Learning, and those are essentially summer camps for blind and low vision kids so they can learn Braille and assistive technology and how to use their canes in their communities.
In addition to guest speakers, attendees had the chance to explore new technology designed to increase independence. Devices like the Dot Pad give people the ability to read content connected to their tablets, from reading Harry Potter,
a large tawny owl flutter past the window,
to be able to feel any type of drawing.
That is a triangle.
We're now able to interact with the information with our peers in real time.
Chris Danielson, a board member of the Federation in Maryland, says events like this show what's possible.
And people really need to understand that they can live with blindness and they can still be happy, they can still learn, they can still work, they can still be productive. So it means an awful lot to me personally to be able to give back what I was given and to talk to people and say, you know, your life is not over just because you lost the one sense of your eyesight. You're going to be okay.
With the Federation growing, leaders say everyone is welcome to join. According to Offman, this Federation has around 2,000 members in the state of Maryland. It says anyone looking to join should reach out. I'm Kevin Zappe in Ocean City, CoastTV News.
Time is 6:20 and you are looking live. We have some fog building along the canal in Lewes. And Chris, you were saying that is a sign that we have milder temperatures.
Yeah, it's that warmer air evecting into the area over that cooler ground. And we are seeing fog beginning to, it developed over the last hour as we take a live look here into Ocean City. Low cloud deck there, 34, but you can see we're now down to three-quarters of a mile in Georgetown, three-quarters of a mile in Cambridge as well. So take your time out there this morning. We're going to be dealing with the fog at least through sunrise, and then we're going to be seeing much improved conditions by this afternoon. We're at the freezing mark in Redden, 34 in Georgetown as well as Rehoboth. So some frost on the windshield this morning, so give your car a little extra time to warm up. There's that southwest wind anywhere between about 3 to about 10 miles an hour. We do have small craft advisories for the Delaware coast all the way down through Ocean City and Chicotee. Those run through later on this evening. So we are dry, and we're going to stay that way for the day today, even most of the day tomorrow, as high pressure continues to dominate. As this high slides off to the east, we see a nice ridge of warm air build across much of the east. So a pleasant afternoon. We've rebounded after this foggy start. We are going to see a bit more in the way of cloud cover for our Wednesday, but a mild day. Temperatures getting into the lower 50s for Georgetown, Long Neck, Ocean Pines 50, 48 in Ocean City to 54 in Cambridge with the southwest wind. Now the clouds will be back on the increase through the overnight, so not as cold to start our Wednesday. I think most of us are going to stay well above the freezing mark. In fact, we are going to stay pretty mild into the day tomorrow, and we do have an opportunity for a brief shower as we get into around dinner time on Wednesday. But we stay on the mild side. Notice the southwest wind today, anywhere between about 15 to 20 miles an hour. It does become a bit more breezy as we go into Wednesday with some gusts near 30 miles an hour. And then a backdoor cold front is going to be plaguing us on Thursday and Friday. Going to be parking somewhere along the Delmarva Peninsula, a little further to the north. If you're north of the front, you're going to be in the 40s and 50s. South of it, you're going to be in the 60s. So we may see quite a temperature gradient across the peninsula as we go into Thursday and Friday. We do turn a bit more unsettled. Late shower opportunity Thursday into early Friday morning. Friday, a rather damp day with a steadier rain possible by Friday afternoon into the evening. Could see a few showers linger into Saturday, and then a more potent storm system is possible Sunday into Monday. That one could be a bit colder, especially on the back end of that storm. 53 into Saturday. A lot of clouds over the weekend. 44 with that potential of rain, ending as some wet snow as we go into Monday. And then it turns much colder. 30s are back into the picture by Monday.
All right, thank you for that, Chris. Tobacco prices in Delaware could see a spike under Governor Matt Meyer's proposed fiscal year 2027 budget. Cigarette tax would jump, get this, from $2.10 to $3.60 per pack. Now, the increase is part of a plan to help close a more than $500 million budget gap and generate about $160 million in new state revenue. Supporters say it could help discourage smoking and address an unhealthy habit, but small businesses across Kent County are warning that higher prices could hurt customers and impact sales.
Tobacco is already pretty taxed to death. Like, we're running off of probably like a 6 or 7% margin on tobacco. They just really keep hammering down on tobacco.
Joint Finance Committee hearings are underway. Lawmakers must approve a final budget by July 1st.
Coming up next on Coast TV News Today, Wicomico bird flu. What farmers say they're doing to prevent any further spread. We'll be right back. Maryland officials say a likely positive case of bird flu was found in a commercial broiler farm in Wicomico County. It's the first case in the county this year. According to Maryland's Department of Agriculture, the impacted farm is quarantining and those birds are being euthanized to prevent the spread. Bird flu is highly contagious and can spread from bird to bird. The Delmarva Chicken Association says that there are many ways that local growers can protect their flocks.
Installing, decoys to scare birds away from settling on their stormwater ponds or on their farm fields. They're changing their own shoes whenever they go from one chicken house to another. They're making sure that visitors who are servicing the farm with, propane or for repairs are doing the same thing.
And according to the Delmarva Chicken Association, there are many safeguards to ensure infected birds do not make it into the food supply.
Well, we've been tracking the fog this Tuesday morning as we take a live look into Lewes. Can't see much there as we look out into the bay. 34 degrees, winds relatively calm in Lewes. So a cloudy, foggy start to our day in Ocean City and Fenwick Island, but we're going to rebound pretty nicely by the afternoon. In fact, temperatures get up into the upper 40s to the lower 50s in through Lewes and Rehoboth. So a pleasant afternoon, winds out of the south, anywhere between about 10 to 20 miles an hour. We have the fog in Cambridge and Crisfield. Temperatures beginning into the mid 30s, a little frost out there as well, but pretty nice by the afternoon. Wanda, Tyler of Berlin, Maryland, congratulations on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. We will talk about some unsettled weather to round out the week and then some colder temperatures in that extended forecast. I'll have it for you in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. After the break on Coast TV News Today, Guthrie investigation intensifies. What new information police are gathering could lead to a possible suspect.
Also, Maryland ICE decision. We have details of the emergency bills Governor Wes Moore is expected to sign into law.
Plus, petition for possible referendum. The major changes Ocean City officials are set to consider today. Coast TV News continues after the break.
Now on Coast TV News.
Maryland migration mandate. The emergency bills Governor Wes Moore is scheduled to sign this morning that are creating controversy with Wicomico County law enforcement.
Strategic Summit in Lewes, why leaders from several organizations are making themselves available to the public tonight.
Watch for some areas of fog to start our Tuesday, but a pleasant day awaits. We're going to see sunshine this afternoon, turning milder. We get it back into the 50s, and we're going to trend even milder into the days ahead, plus turning a little active as well.
And festival fines. Ocean City moves closer to upping the cost of parking violations during popular events.
This is Coast TV News Today.
February 17th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us today.
6:31 a.m. and I guess more specifically me, we've been peppering Chris about these warm temperatures this week.
You're just excited for spring to come.
Cabin fever or spring fever? Cabin fever is when you get you're fed up with the cold weather. I'm
Something
borrowing
like
the Jimmy
that.
Buffett song, Boat Drinks.
You're done. You're happy that all the ice is melting away and that you can get to your spring activities. What's a favorite spring activity of Matt Pensick?
Oh, well, grilling, of course.
Obviously. I could have guessed. I thought you were going to say riding around your truck, windows down,
There's
walking
that.
on the
Listen in the
beach or
music,
something like that. Well,
Yeah.
Chris is such a tease, isn't he? He tempts us with these warmer
Yeah, because
temperatures.
we have this stretch, but I don't know if he's going to get to it in this hit or not, but we enjoy it while we last, right,
50
Chris?
today.
That's right, Matt, because we do have a lot more winter left to go, unfortunately, as you'll see there in the extended forecast. Well, we're taking a live look into Cambridge. We got some geese, some ducks there in the inlet there. Cambridge dealing with some fog this morning. We're down to 35 degrees there, and you can see visibility now down to 3/4 of a mile in Cambridge, now down to a mile and a half through Salsbury and Georgetown. So use some caution out there this morning. We've been tracking the fog. Temperatures have been hovering right around the freezing mark in some locations across Sussex County, so some of us waking up to some frost on that windshield this morning, but you can see the light southwest wind anywhere between about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so we'll have clouds clouds, fog to start, but we're going to rebound pretty nicely through the afternoon as we get up into the lower 50s for most of the peninsula, upper 40s at the beaches and under those partly cloudy skies. We'll talk about some milder days ahead and also some unsettled days ahead. I'll break down some rain and maybe even a little snow in that extended forecast. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. Moving to breaking news now. This morning, NBC News confirming that civil rights leader Jesse Jackson has died at 84. Jackson was born in Greenville, South Carolina, and rose to leadership during the civil rights era. His career includes 2 presidential candidacies, one in 1984 and the other in 1988. Jackson revealed a Parkinson's diagnosis in 2017 and was recently admitted to the hospital in November. And moving over to Lewes, the city will host its first ever State of the Community Forum tonight.
Our Lisa Weber is live in Lewes. This meeting is a partnership with leaders from the University of Delaware, also Beebe Healthcare, and the Cape Henlopen School District. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. City leaders say the goal of tonight's meeting is to build a strong and healthy community. Stakeholders will present their 2026 priorities, joint strategic goals, and discuss how and why collaboration is key. Speakers include Superintendent of the Cape Henlopen School District, Dr. Jenny Noman, President and CEO of Beebe Healthcare, Dr. David Tam, and University of Delaware President Dr. Laura Carlson. The meeting will feature a 30 to 40-minute Q&A session, and attendees are encouraged to submit questions online before the meeting. That meeting will take place from 5 to 7 o'clock this evening at Lewes Elementary School. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa in Lewes. Happening today, a major update in the fight for short-term rentals in Ocean City. According to the agenda for today's town council meeting, officials are expected to present whether enough valid signatures were collected on a petition. The petition is seeking a referendum on a recently adopted ordinance related to short-term rentals. And according to Ocean City, at least 990 signatures must receive verification for the petition to move forward to a referendum.
Also have a second and final reading of an ordinance to tell you about that would double parking violation fines during special events. This is also expected today from Ocean City Council. They say the fine would jump from $50 to $100 and would include events such as Country Calling, Oceans Calling, the 4th of July, and others throughout the year.
And bicyclists in Ocean City could have a little more time on the boardwalk from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Town Council is expected to consider a proposal at the same council meeting. Earlier this month, the Police Commission voted to recommend extending summer boardwalk bike hours from midnight to 2 p.m. instead of until noon. According to town officials, the idea is to add flexibility now that the boardwalk trams are gone.
I think it's the best alternative. I think it's an alternative that shouldn't have to be an alternative. Do you understand? I think that the tram was a terrible idea from the beginning.
And the Ocean City Town Council will gather tonight at 6 p.m.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore is scheduled to sign 2 emergency bills involving immigration enforcement. There's Senate Bill 245 that prohibits state, local government, or a county sheriff from entering into an agreement with ICE and any existing agreements before July 1st. There's House Bill 444. It's essentially the same requirements. You may recall that earlier this year, Wicomico County entered into an agreement to assist in executing immigration warrants inside county detention centers.
New this morning, a Salsbury home is in need of a major repair after an electrical fire. According to the Maryland State Fire Marshal, the fire began in the attic of a home on South Kaywood Drive. That was around 2:15 on Sunday afternoon. And officials say it took firefighters 45 minutes to put out the blaze, and the structural damage is estimated to be at about $200,000.
New overnight, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says the Guthrie family has been cleared as possible suspects in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Detectives are focusing on the person seen on Nancy's doorbell camera video. It's the video that you see right now. This was the night she disappeared. Specifically, what he was wearing. His backpack is sold exclusively at Walmart, and the Sheriff's Department confirms his clothes could have also been purchased at Walmart.
That is something that gives them something to put their teeth into and just keep digging until they find that one lead that leads them to that suspect.
Another possible lead in the case is DNA found inside Nancy's home. Police say it doesn't belong to Nancy or anyone close to her. It's unclear if investigators have since learned who it belongs to.
And today, U.S. envoys engaging in double negotiations, both with far-reaching international implications. In Geneva, Switzerland, U.S. diplomats meeting with Iranian officials for a second round of nuclear negotiations. The president sending a second U.S. aircraft carrier to the region ahead of the talks, ramping up the pressure on Iran to curb its nuclear program. All this at the top as Trump envoys tackle a separate challenge today, mediating negotiations between Russia and Ukraine.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, push towards higher prices. What the Wall Street Journal says is causing stores to make the change.
And Phillies off-field drama. They're gearing up for spring training. Why Bryce Harper is upset at upper management. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Your Tuesday is off to a great start. We are off to a foggy start. We've been tracking that fog throughout the morning as we take a live look into Lewes, 34 degrees, and see visibility down to 1.5 miles through Salsbury, Georgetown, much of Sussex, down to 0.5 mile there in Cambridge. That's where we have had the most dense fog this morning, and temperatures have been hovering in the mid-30s, some areas just around that freezing mark. So don't be surprised if you wake up to some frost this morning. High pressure in control, and we're going to see plenty of sunshine, I think, by the afternoon. So we rebound pretty nicely as we get those temperatures up into the lower 50s. You can get your latest forecast by calling the First Alert Weather phone. Your 7-day forecast is just a few minutes away.
Thank you, Chris. The executive chairman of Hyatt Hotels, billionaire Tom Pritzker, is announcing that he's retiring. This follows the most recent release of files by the government that revealed his association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. He served as executive chairman of the hotel chain since 2004.
Wall Street Journal is reporting a number of companies are raising prices once again. That's after a trend of holding them steady for holiday shopping. Now, many retailers cite pressure from tariffs. Some small businesses say they're also grappling with wages and high healthcare costs.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
In the majors, tempers are flaring in Philly. Days after cutting Nick Castellanos over dugout drama, former teammate Bryce Harper turned the heat up a notch. The 33-year-old isn't upset with manager Rob Thompson, though. Instead, he's disappointed with President Dave Dombrowski for saying he's no longer elite.
I don't get motivated by that kind of stuff. You know, for me, it was kind of wild, the whole situation of that happening. I think the big thing for me was, you know, when we first met with this organization, it was, hey, you know, we're always going to keep things in-house, and we expect you to do the same thing. And so, you know, when that didn't happen, kind of took me for a run a little bit.
Let's shift gears to Delaware, where we preview our coverage of the Blue and Gold All-Star Game.
Which players made the blue-gold basketball teams? Players, coaches, and fans. Be the first to find out. The official rosters drop live this Wednesday at 2:30 on the Delmarva Sports Network. We'll reveal every selection and spotlight the stars representing their schools in this year's game. Watch it live on DSN or stream it on the DSN app with DSN Plus. The Blue Gold Selection Show, only on the Delmarva Sports Network.
Can't wait to bring you that coverage, 2:30 on Wednesday. Have a good one, Delmarva.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 5:30, we have live Bayside Conference boys basketball for you when Y High takes on Parkside, and then you can catch the final score at 10:30. You can watch that city basketball game on DSN Plus. You also get these exclusives at 5:30. Cambridge South Dorchester faces Kent Island in boys basketball. 6 p.m. Cape is at Polytech in girls basketball.
And today in your entertainment news, an Oscar nominee on a small screen and a baseball star on the big screen. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
In the forest, every least thing's important. It's all threaded together, so you can't tell where one thing ends and another begins.
Train Dreams has won Best Feature of the Year at the Indie Spirit Awards, as well as Best Director for Clint Bentley and Best Cinematography for Adolfo Veloso. Both men, who are also Oscar nominees, say they knew the film was special while they were making it.
I connected with so many aspects in the movie, and I was really connected to certain things that made the project be very personal to me in a way.
A lot of crew brought a lot of themselves to it, and even brought heirlooms from their grandmother that they wanted to put in the film, things like that.
Japan has taken baseball from the U.S. and recreated it in its own image.
baseball gave Japan an outlet to succeed on the world stage.
Homecoming, the Tokyo series, looks at last year's Dodgers-Cubs historic season opener in Japan as a lens into the country's passion for the American pastime. The documentary screens in U.S. theaters next Monday and Tuesday. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up to get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Fridays.
Well, it's one of those mornings. Give yourself a little extra time to warm the car up and to get to your final destination. We've been dealing with some dense fog across the area this morning. Temperatures are in the low to mid 30s on our way to highs in the low 50s. And it gets even milder in the days ahead and a little bit more unsettled as well. We'll break it down. Local 70 forecast is coming up next.
And the time is now 6:48 a.m. So we're taking... Again, this is day 2. Yesterday, we took a look out into Laurel, saw nothing, and Chris, we're greeted by the same thing today.
Yeah, we have a lot of low clouds. We have fog this morning, so we've been tracking that fog throughout the morning, and some areas are now down to a half a mile visibility. See in Ocean City there, you can see in the distance the low clouds, 34 degrees, so temperatures have been hovering in the lower to mid 30s. You can see we're down to a quarter-mile visibility there in Easton, so the most dense fog we've seen has been across the mid-shore, and you can see most of the heart of the area seeing anywhere between about a mile to 2 miles of visibility this morning. We're at 34 in Milton, 34 Bethany, 35 in Lewes this morning, and that warm air slowly evecting into the area. You can see southwest winds. We do have small craft advisories that continue for the Delaware coast. Those run through 6 o'clock this evening, as well as for our Maryland and Virginia coasts. Now, we are dry, and that's where we're going to stay for over the next 24 to 36 hours as high pressure continues to push offshore. We see a southwest wind kick in, and we turn it milder. We're going to be in the 50s today, near 60 on Wednesday. Not a whole lot of sunshine, especially by Wednesday. I think we will see some sunny skies by the afternoon. And then a backdoor cold front will bring quite a temperature gradient across the area Thursday and Friday. We do turn quite active as we go into Friday through the start of the weekend. Now, temperatures getting to about 54 in Long Neck, Georgetown, 47 Easton to 48 in Ocean City this afternoon. So partly cloudy skies through the day today. We do see the clouds return overnight, so not as cold tomorrow morning. I think, in fact, some of us may not even get out of the low 40s. Most of the area, I think, away from the beaches will stay in the 30s, mid to upper 30s, and then we have a shower chance as a warm front lifts through the area on Wednesday. Not a whole lot of rain associated with that front, but we do stay pretty dry into the day on Thursday. Winds are going to continue out of the southwest. Bit breezy as we go into the day tomorrow with some gusts near 30 miles an hour. So there's that backdoor cold front we've been talking about Thursday and Friday. So there's going to be quite a temperature gradient wherever that front sets up. A little milder to the south of the front, a little cooler to the north. I do think we will see some 60s. The best chance of that will be on the southwest portion of the peninsula. Some widespread rain possible as we go into Friday afternoon. Could see a few showers linger into Saturday, and then watching for a more significant storm system as we round out the weekend. You see we drop from 56 on Friday to 44 into Sunday with that rain, potentially ending in some snow into Monday with a high of only 37 degrees.
Ooh, all right, thank you, Chris. Speaking of highs, you are now looking at downtown Cortina, Italy. This is a live shot, and they are about 24 degrees there, so they are a little bit colder. They're having a cold day there, but hey, it's the Winter Olympics. They're approaching 1 in the afternoon. We only have a couple of days remaining at the 25th Olympic Winter Games. Now let's take a look at the medal count. The U.S. has 6 gold medals, 8 silver, 5 bronze. That brings their total to 19. Norway leading with 12 gold, 7 silver, 9 bronze, and Grace, according to my math, it's pretty good in this one.
Are you sure?
Plus, I'm looking at the TV there. It says 28 overall medals for Norway. Italy is in second with 8 gold, 4 silver, 11 bronze. They have a total of 23.
Ooh, tough competition this year. It is day 14 of the competition of the Olympic Winter Games, and our coverage will continue all the way to the closing ceremonies. Those are on February 22nd, right here on Coast TV.
Got a programming note for you. Due to the Winter Olympics, through the 20th, you can catch Jeopardy on our sister station, Fox 21. It's at its regular time, 7:30 p.m., so we're talking same show, same time, but it's just on a different channel while the games are on.
Drum roll, please. The time is now 6:52 a.m. Matt Pensick, it is time to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Boy, we got a great picture last hour, and here it is again. This 7-year-old Great Pyrenees on your screen is Harper. Harper, very sweet. We're also told Harper's a bit goofy and keeps his family laughing. They say he's a pure sweetheart. Harper was submitted to us by her family in Frankfurt. I wonder if Harper's named after the Phillies.
Bryce Harper. You can't see it, but Chris Mastrobuono just whipped his head around as soon as he heard the mention of a Phillies sports team. Well, check this guy out. He's like a big polar bear. Well, thank you so much for sending this in, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos. Tell us what makes them so special to you if you take a look at your screen now.
Yeah, scan that QR code top center to get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
The time is now 6:55 a.m. It's time for things you need to know before you go. We have breaking news this morning. NBC has confirmed that civil rights leader Jesse Jackson has died at the age of 84. Jackson was born in Greenville, South Carolina, and rose to leadership during the civil rights era. His career includes 2 presidential candidacies, one in 1984 and the other in 1988. Jackson revealed a Parkinson's diagnosis in 2017 and was recently admitted to the hospital in November again. Our breaking news at this hour, civil rights icon Jesse Jackson has died at the age of 84.
Got another top story to tell you about, this one local. Got a big update in the fight over short-term rentals in Ocean City. According to the agenda for today's council meeting, they're expected to present whether enough valid signatures were collected on a petition. The petition is seeking a referendum on a recently adopted ordinance related to short-term rentals, and according to Ocean City, at least 990 signatures must receive verification for this petition to move forward to a referendum. And we have one final check with First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Let's talk 50-degree temperatures.
Oh, I know that gets you excited, but we got the fog going on. It's like a cartoon where you could cut out a circle of the clouds.
It's thick out there, Chris, in some places.
Yeah, we've been tracking it through the morning. It's been the most dense along the midshore. You can see Easton down to a quarter mile, Cambridge a half a mile, now down to a mile visibility there in Georgetown. The fog will be with us at least over the next few hours. Burns off. We're looking at a pretty nice afternoon under partly cloudy skies, 54. We're up to 60 for Ash Wednesday, but a lot more in the way of cloud cover with a late shower opportunity. Most of the area is going to stay dry, and then more chances for rain come Thursday night and then Friday night. And then we're tracking the potential of an even stronger storm system sunny into Monday. And then behind that, we turn much colder with highs in the 30s.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be right back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Tuesday morning, everybody.